Imagine a marketplace so vast that the wind itself carried secrets from one empire to another. Now imagine the men who walk through that wind, not with swords, but with prayer beads and a single truth. They didn't conquer lands. They conquered hearts. And this is the untold story of how Muslim merchants, not armies, carried the light of Islam across the longest road on earth. The Silk Road was never just silk. It was a river of gold, spices, and ideas, flowing from the heart of China to the shores of the Mediterranean. For centuries, it carried Buddhism, Christianity, and Zoroastrianism. But then, something changed. A new voice emerged from the sands of Arabia. And the merchants of the road leaned in not because they were forced, but because they were moved. These merchants were not scholars in robes. They were ordinary men who prayed 5 times a day, who lowered their gaze, who never cheated on a deal. And their character became the loudest dawah the Silk Road ever heard. A Chinese emperor, a Turkic chieftain, an Indian trader. They didn't convert through debates. They converted through trust, honesty, mercy, the very soul of a true Muslim businessman. Imagine a caravan crossing the barren heights of the Pamir Mountains. The cold is deadly. The path is unknown. But the Muslim merchant shares his water with a stranger. He returns a lost camel to its owner. He pays his workers before their sweat dries. And the people watching think to themselves, this faith, it produces men like this. I want what they have. This is how Islam reached places no army could ever reach. Samarkand, Bukhara, Kashgar, even the islands of Southeast Asia. A Muslim trader married a local woman. He built a small masjid. He taught his children. And within 3 generations, an entire kingdom embraced the Shahada. No violence, no taxes, just a father praying in the night and a community watching in silence. You see, the Quran gave them a business secret that Wall Street still doesn't understand. Surah Al-Mutaffifin warns against cheating in measurement. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said the truthful merchant will be raised with the martyrs on the day of judgment. So these merchants didn't just sell goods. They sold integrity. And that product never goes out of style. Now here is the climax that will break your heart and rebuild it. When the great Mongol Empire conquered half the world, they burned cities and rivers ran red. A grandson of the man who destroyed Baghdad, converted, not by a scholar, by a merchant. This is the forgotten revolution of Islam. While the world talks about battles and borders, Allah was writing history through silent trade routes and honest handshakes. The merchant of the Silk Road didn't carry a spear. He carried a misbah, and entire civilizations bowed not to him, but to his Lord. So the next time you think your job is small, remember these men. You don't need a pulpit to give dawah. You need a heart anchored in sincerity, a tongue that speaks kindness, and hands that never betray a trust. That is the sunnah of trade. That is the legacy of those who spread Islam without firing a single arrow. If this story moved you, share it with one person today. Let them know that Islam was never spread by force. It was spread by men and women whose character made the truth irresistible. Subscribe for more stories that will change how you see this deen. And until next time, Assalamu alaikum.